Kaiser got you on the
Hello, beautiful human. How are you doing today? Welcome back to Kick Up Flicks. My name is Chris Dean. I hope you are having a fantastic day today. The Boys Season 3, Episode 1 through 3 finally came out, but we're only going to talk about Episode 1, only for the simple fact is, I personally believe that the first episode is a very pinnacle episode that sets up the rest of the season. The director slash creator, Eric Kripke, did a fantastic job by setting up the season through episode 1 and establishing every character after a 12-month skip to the future of the boys, and I thought that was super smart, and it was very compelling to see where everybody's at. So that's all I can say for non-spoilers. So we're going to talk about some characters, and there are going to be some spoilers in here about what's in a way kind of happening throughout the first episode. So if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it for you, but then please come back and then comment down below what you thought and what was your favorite part at the same time. I actually do find it kind of hard to start off with a specific character, only for the simple fact is that they all intertwine in some kind of way and almost kind of like repetitively. So if you talk about the Butcher, you also got to talk about Homelander. Then it's Butcher and Huey at the same time. But that's what I love about this episode. The dynamic of how they interacted and where they are in life is actually pretty cool. So as far as Billy Butcher is concerned, he is in a place right now that he is not trying to kill Soups, though you know he really wants to, and is trying to do the right thing by putting them away. And he's trying his best not to do bad, but at least the Soups are surviving, which is actually really good. And Huey is also working with him along with a partner who's also who he thought was human. And at the same exact time, Huey and Billy have this respect for each other that if Huey was to step out of bounds, he understands what Butcher would do to him. So he quickly apologizes just so he wouldn't get beat or killed or anything for that matter. And though they don't agree, they're kind of in this position where in life where they can come to an understanding without violence, and I think that is huge compared to the end of season 2. Now, talking about Huey, he is also in a very interesting point in life where he's also dating Starlight, putting Soups away, and trying to deal with Butcher at the same time. So he's kind of like a person who's orchestrating a lot, and he's doing a really good job. Now, he doesn't show that he's doing a really good job by leading and trying to lead a really good life, but now he's in a position to where everyone kind of looks at him and goes, hey, you just date Starlight, you are Starlight's boyfriend. And it puts him in a shadow form that though he wants to be his own person, it's a lot harder said than done, only for the simple fact is that Starlight stands out so much more in the public than he does, and that makes it hard for him to travel around a little bit, only for the simple fact is that his identity is always out there, which is very interesting. And on top of that, when Starlight's ex-boyfriend comes around that she's leading on, that she's head of the show, and it's brought out to light that her ex-boyfriend is there, I found that interesting for the simple fact is that you saw Huey's jealousy, and jealousy is kind of hard to portray sometimes, but I thought it was done pretty well, very assertive and to the point, and that's what I like about it. They didn't really dance around it. Now that Starlight's ex is in the picture now, something else is also there. The co-captain of, guess what, the Fantastic Seven, along with Homelander. And Homelander doesn't like that because this man's going through a lot right now, and I don't know what direction he's going to go to, but I guess if it keeps going this way, he's going to end up trying to destroy the world. This is purely insanity. But Starlight, let me tell you something. For her to be co-captain at the same time dating Huey, her ex is around, and the potentiality that her fame is far greater than Homelander's has, I mean, from season 1 to where we are right now, that is like a whole script right there. And she's being presented by all this power by Vought. Now that does put her in a very precarious situation if she's going to be also used as like a tool, but at the same exact time she does have the ability to make changes as long as her rankings stay high, because I believe she has the record standings of any hero so far. And I also like seeing the dynamic between Homelander and Starlight, only for the simple fact is that they are two totally, one who wants everyone to cower under fear and respect and call him a hero, versus one who actually wants good and literally tries to be the best hero she can actually be. And that just how that clashes is so scary and at the same time so interesting, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what Highlander is going to do, but in public you know that he can't do certain things because he only does things in private that he knows he can get away with. So that is just kind of interesting to watch his buttons be pushed, and then to watch Vought just kind of shove it in his face that he's kind of like a nobody no more. But speaking of that, Homelander is also in this position that he's considered a Nazi or someone who dated a Nazi, and he's in a very bad position as far as being a hero. He's a super strong, invincible person that everyone is afraid of, literally almost the whole entire world, for the simple fact is that they kind of have an idea that he won't let go. But you can only beat somebody up before eventually they're just going to go, and then that light's gonna click and they're just gonna let mayhem fly, just for the simple fact is the man's not right in the head to begin with. He has this thing from childbirth, he has mom issues, he has all these issues that he's just trying to deal with. It's a lot when it comes to Homelander, but that's what makes it so great. And the best part that made it special is when he paid Billy Butcher a visit and they kind of had this small conversation, and it was almost to a point that he wanted to make to Butcher to say, hey, let's make a deal. And that is just huge, because I would have never thought those two would ever make a deal like that. Now, leaving Homelander behind a little bit, we're gonna go to Mother's Milk. Oh my goodness, he's trying to be a dad, which is great. And one thing I didn't pick up on the first two seasons, and I completely missed it, if you noticed it, please let me know down in the comments, is that this man has a huge OCD problem. I did not realize it was so bad up until I saw it at the birthday party, and I'm sitting there going, what? And then for the simple fact is that he's trying to stay away from Butcher. He's trying to stay away from that life because he wants to grow a family. He doesn't want to make his dad's mistakes. He doesn't want the mistakes of the past to repeat, and I think that's seriously important for this episode, and also character creation, come to think about it. Now, what I can also consider comedic relief throughout the episode is A-Train. A-Train, man, he looking a little bit pudgy, and the one person who brings it home every single time with the insults is Homelander, and he's hitting it right on the head with A-Train, and I just wanted to laugh so hard by Homelander just pretty much calling him fat. One of the fastest men on the face of the earth, and he's just calling him fat because he's eating his heart out, because he's a part of the Seven but not really part of the Seven, just because I think if he loses the race, or if he does decide to go race and he loses, he ends up being kicked out of the Seven. And I'm pretty sure he's trying to avoid that at all costs, because he likes the fame, he likes the money, and just for the simple fact is how they're just dragging him throughout the episode. I was sitting there going, oh my goodness. But guess what? Kudos on playing this part, because it is really good, super entertaining. But that's what I liked about this episode so far, only for the simple fact is that it set everybody up for the future of the rest of the episode. And I cannot wait to watch episode 2 and 3 and talk about it, because I'm probably gonna just do those together. But either way, I can't wait for the story to actually start, and I believe it's gonna start in episode 2. And as usual, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe, hit that like button, because it does help me out with that YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to click that bell notification for every time I post. You won't miss not one thing. And don't forget, most importantly, kick up and not down. And I will see you the next time I post. Peace.